Divorces can be messy and emotionally draining, especially when the stakes are high and the spotlight is on. Although we often look to celebrities for the glamorous lives, beneath it all, they face many of the same challenges that we do. Today, we're joined by our esteemed legal experts to shed light on actor Kevin Costner's high-profile divorce and gain some valuable insight that can help you navigate your own relationship journeys. Ashton & Price is one of Sacramento County's most prominent personal injury law firms, working on behalf of accident victims and their families. Joining us today is attorney Craig Fontaine Ashton of Ashton & Price. Welcome. Always nice to see you, sir.
Well, thank you very much.
Well, let's talk about, we know you're not directly involved in this case, but the Kevin Costner legal drama that's making headlines. What's your take on what's going on?
So basically, Christine Baumgartner filed for divorce on May 1st of this year. So essentially what she's saying is that I know I signed a prenuptial agreement, but it's not enforceable. And ultimately, I want $248,000 a month in child support for the 3 children that we have that are 16, 14, and 13. And ultimately, I want to set aside the prenuptial agreement. And Kevin Costner says, no, not so fast. I was divorced before, and once burned, twice shy. We have a prenuptial agreement, it's enforceable, and ultimately $248,000 is just basically a backdoor way for you to get basically spousal support, which we didn't agree to. So I'm going to give you, he's now in his latest filing offering $51,000 a month. So that's going to be the issue.
Okay, so I was going to say because from his prior marriage to, I believe, Cindy Silva, there were some things that he learned, so the expectations were different, I guess, in the situation and the prenup as well.
Right, fair enough. So in 1986, we passed the Uniform Premarital Agreement Act in California, which allows for prenuptial agreements. But if you don't have one, ultimately it's community property. And Kevin Costner met his first wife, Cindy, at Cal State Fullerton, and before he was a big star. So they were a community marital team. And he got great success with her help behind the scenes and became community property. He ended up paying $80 million in 1994, I believe, which was the largest settlement in divorce in Hollywood of the time. And so he says, look, I'm getting married again in 2005 to Christine. I don't want to do that again. So if you want to marry me, we have to have an agreement to say that if we get divorced, then these are the financial obligations I will have to you. And then the children we can't contract because they ultimately are going to be overseen by the court, so we can't contract about child support and child custody. But this is what you get: $1.4 million in a lump sum, some moving expenses, but you don't get my $145 million compound in Carpinteria, because I want to be able to go home when I'm in Yellowstone and coming back. I want to be able to go home to a residence.
And those assets, the high-profile assets, what are the implications when you have property like that?
Well, quite a bit. So, I mean, this is just, in California, we recognized years ago, and it was amended in 2002, the Premarital Agreement Act. Somebody say, look, if you have a lot of assets and you're getting married later in life where there's a complete discrepancy in regards to financial well-being, that you might want to put something in writing. So when you get divorced, because when everything is nice and happy, then it's easy to enter an agreement. But when you hate each other, that's when people like me get involved. And then it's dancing with the legal wolves, and it's very expensive. So the point is that Kevin said, look, well, let's just make an agreement now. I'm worth a couple $100 million now, and it's not fair that I give you half of that if we get divorced, because, I earned that before I met you. Okay. So here's what you get. There will be a lump sum payment, no spousal support. So the interesting thing is there's a hearing in November to see if the prenuptial agreement is enforceable. And if he followed the rules in California, she had her own attorney. She had a week basically cooling off period, and everything was put in writing. There's no way this is going to get set aside. And I know this to be the case because the judge is signaling that the prenuptial agreement is enforceable, because the judge said, I'm going to hear if it's enforceable in November, but you got to move out of the house now. Okay. Which means she's signaling to say that the prenuptial agreement is enforceable, otherwise wouldn't force Christine to move out of the house.
Let's talk about just in general what we can do to protect our own financial interests, not just regards to this case, but just in general.
So the way this is a pretty good allegory in regards to how you do that. So prenuptial agreements are meant to say, look, if you have financial issues that you want to put in front of everyone before the marriage takes place, it's got to be in writing. Okay. It's got to be full disclosure. You need to get your own separate attorney to describe to you what your rights and obligations are. So there's no duress, there's no what's called unconscionability, in other words, it's so unfair, and there's no intoxication or incapacity. And if you have your own lawyer describe to you what your legal rights are, and it's all in writing, then it's fair game, which is it's full, complete understanding of rights and obligations. If you sign that, it's binding. Just like any other contract is binding. Like when you lease a car, you can't say, oh, I don't want to do that anymore. Once you sign the lease, then ultimately, unless there's incapacity or duress, then it's enforceable.
With that communication, let's talk about 2 children. Protecting children, to keep that at the forefront.
Yeah, so the way it works is in prenuptial agreements, any contract, you can't contract away the rights of the children. The overreaching legal adage is what's in the best interest of the child. And so the court will look over to make sure that what's in the best interest of the child is happening in this case. That's why all the child support is in front of the judge. What Kevin Costner says, $248,000 a month, that's for you, ex-wife, that you're going to use for yourself, not for the kids. They don't need that much. $50,000
All right, we're
going to
keep it hanging on that cliffhanger because thank you. It's always so nice to talk to you. Thank you so much, Greg. You don't have to be Prince or Pauper. If you find this information fascinating, get more information online. Great to have you with us, AshtonandPrice.com.